This video series is going to be covering all aspects of the Osmosis DEX on the Cosmos ecosystem. It's going to be covering how to leverage pools, how to use pools, how to trade tokens, how to swap between all IBC enabled tokens, deposit, withdraw, and ultimately participate on the Osmosis DEX. First of all, it needs to be stated that anything discussed on Let's Talk Cosmos should not be construed as financial advice. All information should be treated as educational and entertainment purposes only. Cryptocurrencies are incredibly volatile. Any investments in this space should be discussed with a qualified financial advisor. Please be safe, please do your research, and as stated before, only ever risk what you're able to afford. So this video series is going to cover a few things, but this video itself is primarily going to be looking at the prerequisites required to use the Osmosis DEX, the Osmosis value proposition, and lastly, a generalized tour of just the main proponents of the DEX, from trading to the assets to the pools to how to deposit stuff and ultimately how to make the best use of the Osmosis platform. So the first thing you're going to need is a Kepler wallet. Kepler can be found in a variety of different ways, from the mobile iOS and Android app to the web extensions in Chrome and Edge. I'm sure it comes in a variety of more fashions, but if you are going to pick this one up, make sure to go to the URL below because there's a lot of malicious things out there. Second you'll need is some Atom, i.e. Cosmos. You can pick this up on a variety of different exchanges from Crypto.com, Coinbase, Binance, and if you are planning on picking any of this up, please use the referral links that you see in the video. It helps out the channel. If not, totally understand, and you could pick that up at any of those exchanges without those referral links. Just helps the channel out. To best understand the Osmosis value proposition, a few basics are required, mostly around a bit of knowledge in the Cosmos ecosystem, and generally some DeFi and DEX basics. There are three main talking points around this, which we're going to cover just shortly, but nothing too major. So the first one is Cosmos. Cosmos is an internet blockchains network in which developers can build interoperable decentralized applications, also known as dApps. Projects that adhere to the IBC protocol will be able to seamlessly communicate with each other and send tokens between these networks through the Osmosis DEX, with minimal transaction fees. The second being the IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. This protocol relays messages between various independent distributed ledgers. This was initially created to allow Tendermint-based blockchains to communicate between each other. Tendermint Core is essentially the consensus mechanism validating all these transactions on the Cosmos ecosystem. It's well worth having a read at the URL just below, just to get a wee bit more knowledge on this, because it is a fairly deep topic. And lastly, the AMM, the Automated Market Maker. This is a popular DEX protocol which relies on algorithms to price cryptocurrency assets and liquidity pools, essentially filling the role of centralized market makers in an order book method platform. A bit more on this will be explained when we talk about the pools, but ultimately this enables the decentralized nature of these exchanges. So without further ado, we'll jump into the next section and we will have a look at the DEX. So now in a browser of your choice, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the Osmosis DEX. To do so, in the URL bar, if you search for osmosis.zone, and you will see that you will land on the Osmosis DEX. It's worth noting, it's worth checking some of these socials out, specifically the Discord. There's an interesting place, great people, and also the Medium side of things to keep track of, again, just project updates in general. Anything major that's coming to Osmosis and the DEX, you're going to see here. But yeah, as I say, just noteworthy. So once Enter the Lab appears, if we jump into that, you're going to get taken to the main landing page. First time you load this, you're going to see a disclaimer of the DEX. It is really worth reading that. As I say, they didn't put it there for no reason. If you have a read through, press the acknowledge, and then press proceed, you will then land on this page and you will be able to access all the different pages. So the DEX consists of a few different things. You've got the trading element of it, which is what you're seeing here. So you can see that we've got sort of token swap options between all of the different IBC enabled tokens on the Cosmos ecosystem. Hopefully once bridges come into place, this might extend a bit further into the different sort of Ethereum and, again, wider field, but we're speculating at this point. At the minute, you've got all your IBC tokens, and you could swap them completely interoperably. That never came out right at all, but you get where I'm coming from, between any token of your choice. It's a fairly simple thing to do, and as I say, there's going to be more detail on performing a swap in the next video. So the next sort of area is the pools. I'm not going to go into detail. As I say, all of these are going to get their own separate videos. We've then got assets, the ability to stake our Osmosis tokens, the ability to vote on governance proposals. Again, this is all done through the Kepler wallet app side of things, but as I say, I'm still going to cover them because it's still an important aspect of the DEX in general. And an interesting stats related thing, which gives you information about the actual decentralized exchange, just at a high level, and also all the way down to literally the token level with pricing, volumes, and a whole bunch of other things. As mentioned before, the Kepler wallet is a key component to this. You can connect your wallet. We do have the ability to do Wallet Connect now, and that allows Kepler Mobile to essentially work with this, which is an interesting development, which there's already a video on my channel to have a look at if you're interested in seeing how that's set up and also how to use it, or if you're just generally interested in seeing what the mobile app has to offer at the minute. But yeah, other than that, again, you've got the social media sort of things, which will direct you to recent news and other updates. So that is a very high level overview of the DEX, and we will progress on to discussing each of these pages in much more detail. As I said before, this is a video series, and if you would like to subscribe, hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. We'll go into much more detail in these pages, get you up and running, and make sure that you start enjoying what Osmosis has to offer. Until the next video, thanks for listening.